And welcome to today's episode of Lucia Global Perspective. With me in the studio today is Father Patrick Etuk, MSP, Reverend Father Pius Duke, MSP, and they're going to be sharing their perspective on the meaning of Thanksgiving. We're going to start the conversation with Father Patrick giving us his perspectives on the true meaning of Thanksgiving. Father Patrick.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share the little that I know about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving in general, it's an acknowledgement that whatsoever favor, whatsoever gifts, or whatsoever good that we are enjoying was given to us by someone other than us. When we thank someone, when we celebrate that Thanksgiving event, we are simply saying that everything does not depend on us. There's a lot that depend on others as well too. When we thank someone, we are acknowledging that it's not by our own power, it's not by our own might that we have reached where we are. We are simply saying also that our successes the merits for our successes should be shared. I cannot attribute all the merits of my success to myself. So that's why I am thankful. And in this particular case, God is the ultimate source of every gift that we have ever received. Whatsoever we have and whatsoever we are have been given to us. So we should always be grateful. That's why we cannot afford to be boastful of anything, because there are so many persons that have contributed to who we are and what we have done. So being thankful means that we are, ultimately indebted. We are indebted. And that makes us always humble. We should always be humble.
Thank you so much for putting it in, such a practical way. We should be humble. We are not the architects of all that has happened in our lives. People have helped us along the way, and ultimately God has helped us. Father Pius, would you like to unmute yourself and let's hear your perspectives on the meaning of Thanksgiving?
Just like my brother has just said, Thanksgiving is simply returning gratitude and appreciation to someone who has done something in our lives, either giving us something we couldn't have gotten by our own power, or maybe our own intelligence, or maybe our own ability. Beginning from the family, we all know that just like children are taught how to be grateful for what they receive from their parents, and this is expressed in simple words of thank you, and it could be also a way of making even the giver of the gifts to do more, because parents will always appreciate a child who is thankful, and that shows that you acknowledge what your parents have done, and because of that, you give them joy to do more for you. We must show appreciation for whatever we have received, and also not only showing appreciation, it is also a sign of the fact that we acknowledge that there is something beautiful that we have received from someone, something that is quite of immense importance in our lives. Take, for example, when someone who has experienced a deep lack for something, either love, and is shown love in an extraordinary way, beyond maybe his understanding, and at the end of the day, the person comes to realize that surely this person has played a significant role in my life. And so I think Thanksgiving is quite an important aspect of our lives as humans. And so or whatever it is, we need to give thanks to whoever who has contributed to our own life.
Thank you so much for sharing that perspective. I really like the way that you drew an analogy between, Thanksgiving on this bigger scale with what you say we teach our children to be thankful, to their parents, and, how we model that, and how we now take that basic instruction, that basic model, and we now relate it back to thanking God and thanking, the universe for being good to us. We're going to take a short break. You heard Father Pius Duke and Father Patrick Etuk remind us that it's not by our power or our might that we have accomplished whatever we think we have accomplished, that any merits or successes that we have attained are all attributed to God's glory, to God's blessings in our lives. And so the ultimate glory, praise, and thanksgiving goes to God. They also reminded us that people have contributed to our joy, that when we celebrate our accomplishments, we must be humble and sincere in appreciating all the destiny helpers that God has placed in our life. And so on this beautiful Thursday, November 25th, 2021, I'd like to acknowledge all of you who have shared in my life, who have shared in my joy, who have contributed to my joy, all of you who have supported my mission, who have supported my life's purpose and my work in Lucinda Women Development Center, my work with Lucia Global Renewal Network, even my work with Dr. Prumo Consulting. I want to thank all of you who have loved me unconditionally, all of you who have been destiny helpers on my life's journey. Whether you made a phone call, sent a text message, smiled at me, prayed for me, maybe you shared some words of encouragement, maybe you just shared some goodwill, or maybe in your heart of hearts, you just feel good every time you think about me. And those good thoughts reach me because, believe it or not, our thoughts are powerful. So in any way that you have contributed to my joy, maybe you even shared of your resources, of your treasure by donating, by sending your gifts to support our mission at Lucinda. Maybe you volunteered as a resource person. Maybe you shared of your time, your talents, one way or another. Maybe you have been the reason for me to smile, the reason for me to have hope, the reason for me to look forward to the next day, especially my Facebook family and my WhatsApp family. On this beautiful Thanksgiving Day, I want you to know that I love you, I appreciate you, and I thank God for the gifts that you are in my life. God bless all of you. Happy Thanksgiving with all my love.